The live is on. Let me make sure I got my comment pinned here. As y'all come in, shout yourselves out in the comment section. Tell me where you checking in from. I'm live on in 3 places, actually. I'm on Facebook, my business page, and also my Facebook business group, 6 Figures and Growing. My Facebook business page was Work on Your Game, and I'm also live on Instagram. Let me get my pinned comment here on Instagram. Get your tickets to my next event called Work on Your Game Live, which begins exactly 30 days from today, February 3rd, Miami, Florida. It's a 2-day event, Friday and a Saturday. You want an excuse to be in Miami in the dead of the winter. That's your excuse. I'm putting it right here in my pinned comments on, actually, the pinned comment on both of these. So as y'all checking in, shout yourselves out in the comment section. Let's get into it. Y'all see the topic here today. Y'all can see the topic on Facebook, right? The topic is your productivity sucks. Instagram, the topic is your productivity sucks. Macedonia, Philip checking in from Macedonia. Shout out to Macedonia, everybody out in Europe. Briano says, I was in Minnesota today. I'm in Maryland. Shout out to you in Maryland. So that means you're traveling south. So a little bit further, you'll be in Miami for Work on Your Game Live, February 3rd and 4th. Taking place again, February 3rd and 4th, 2-day event. Excuse me. For some reason, I've been sneezing today. As y'all are checking in again, shout yourselves out. We're going to get into it in 10 seconds. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Dre Baldwin. I'm a former 9-year pro athlete. I've written 33 books. I've done 4 TED Talks. I created this whole framework and brand called Work on Your Game, where I take all the mindsets and strategies that you need to make it as a professional athlete, and I've translated those tools over into the business world to help professionals do 3 specific things. Number 1, perform at a higher level. Number 2, be more consistent. Number 3, make more money. Thank you. Those in the comments. Raquel, appreciate the badge. Maybe you'll give me another one after I get into this material, because I didn't even get into the material yet, but you already know. So you actually need to get your ticket to Work on Your Game Live too, Raquel. So today's topic is your productivity sucks. We're going to figure out why. And there's a lot of reasons why people's productivity comes up short. Today, I'm going to highlight the top 3 reasons that people come up short on productivity and are not getting done as much as you want or need, or you say that you wish to get done. That's what we're going to talk about here. We're going to get into getting more done, getting the right things done, and getting the right things done that are actually going to produce outcomes for you. Because, I mean, the purpose of getting things done is not just to say that you did stuff. That's hustle porn. We talked about that. I did a reel on hustle porn probably about a month ago. If you look at my reels on Instagram, and I post them on Facebook too, you should have seen that reel where I gave you the vaccine for hustle porn. That is to keep you off of the idea that just doing stuff and just knowing that you're hustling is okay. That's not the point. The point of you being productive, folks, is for you to be actually doing productive things that produce results that are related to your bottom line, that are related to your goals. So my prerequisite for everything I'm about to share here is that you actually have goals that are clearly articulated. You know exactly where they're going. They are measurable and they're clearly defined. So if you don't have those, then it doesn't matter what you're productive at, because you don't know where you're going. So you got to know that you're producing something that's actually getting you where you want to be. So now that we're clear on that, let's get into the points. Number 1, why your productivity sucks is that you are forcing yourself to do things that either you are uninterested in or you simply don't want to be doing. So you're forcing yourself to do these things, and your productivity is off because you're doing something that's just not aligned with your abilities or your inclinations. When you're basically doing the wrong job. It's kind of like taking a basketball player and making them play baseball, or taking a baseball player and making them be a swimmer, or taking a swimmer and making them be a track and field athlete. You're putting someone in the wrong job. Sometimes a person can be a great worker, but they're just working at the wrong job. So you put the right worker in the right job and they'll be doing great. But you put the wrong worker in the wrong job, they will be unproductive. So some of you right now are unproductive because you're doing the wrong job, or the wrong jobs, plural. You may be just doing the wrong thing. Maybe you're just trying to make yourself into thing A, but you really need to be thing B. And you're not good enough at thing A to get real results out of it. So the more you keep trying to make yourself be good at it, you're going to keep failing at it. And now you're beating yourself up because you're not getting results at thing A, when the problem is nothing wrong with thing A. There's nothing wrong with you. you're just in the wrong place. We just got the wrong match, or we just put two things together that just don't match. It's kind of like I was looking at my fridge the other day, and there's some milk in there, some almond milk. I use that for my protein shakes, and there's some bellini. We took a champagne toast at midnight on New Year's Eve. Now, if you mix the milk and the champagne together, that's probably not going to go good. That probably wouldn't go good with your stomach. But the milk goes great with protein mix to make a protein shake, and the bellini goes great with, I don't know what you mix with champagne, grapes. It'll probably go great with some grapes or some cheese or something like that, right? Is sometimes you just have the right element. The element is just in the wrong place. And some of you is exactly that. That's exactly what's happening in your career. It might be happening in your regular life. You might be dating somebody who's a great person, just not a great person for you. And you may be a great person. Maybe you're not the right person for them. Let me blow my nose real quick. I don't know why allergies seem to be flaring up a little bit today. But anyway, the point is, you got to make sure you're doing the right job. Some of you, maybe you have the right product or service or offering, but you're offering it to the wrong people. And therefore, it's not selling because you're trying to sell it to the wrong people. If you take that same product and sell it to the right people, it'll sell. Y'all know the George Foreman grill? Everybody had a George Foreman grill back in the day. Some of you might still have one today. The George Foreman grill was out for years and it wasn't selling. But then when they started selling it on TV, you know, the QVC where you can call up on the phone and they do the infomercials and sell it, that's when it started taking off. And that's when it sold like they sold millions and millions of those grills simply by moving it from one place to another place. So sometimes you just need to move your work from doing this job to doing that job. Sometimes you got to get yourself off of a job that you shouldn't be doing, get somebody else on that job, and move yourself from the wrong job into a job that you would actually be good at. And all of a sudden, you'll be getting great outcomes. Now, I want you to understand that there are times that you're going to have to do stuff that you don't feel like doing. There'll be times that you have to do some work that is not your favorite work. Maybe you're not that excited to do it, but it has to be done, and there's nobody else to hand it off to, so you kind of have to do it. That does happen. There are times where you will have to just kind of force yourself to kind of eat your vegetables and do something that you don't want to do. But you shouldn't be doing that all the time. That shouldn't be your everyday. It shouldn't be your everyday that you're doing a job that you really are not inclined or fit to be doing, because you're not going to produce at your best level if you're doing something you don't want to do. I mean, that just makes sense, doesn't it? Now, I know that some motivator that you might hear or some leadership speaker might tell you, well, you always have to be doing that. That is not true. If you are doing it right now, the number one thing you should be thinking about is, how can I strategize to get off of this job and get someone else who loves to do it to do this job? Or maybe I can eliminate the job completely. Or maybe you can get some software that can do the job. Maybe you don't even have to do it yourself. Maybe you get a robot or something to do the job. The key to productivity, one simple key, is to be productive at something that you actually want to do, and something that actually does help the bottom line of your business, your career, your goals, the company you work for, whatever it is. Be productive at something that actually matters to be productive at, and that you're actually good at, and that you want to do. All three. It matters, you're good at it, and you want to do it. 1, 2, 3. Now, some of you are productive at things that you're good at and you want to do them, but they don't actually matter because they're not actually leading to anything on the bottom line. Or maybe it's something that does help the bottom line and you're good at it, but you don't really want to do it. Or helps the bottom line and you want to do it, but you're not good. You don't have the skill. So you need all three of these. When you get all three of these mixed in, that's when you will find the right thing. And sometimes you just got to try a bunch of different stuff before you find that right match between all three of these. Again, anybody want to put that in the comment here so everybody can see it? Number 1, you need to be good. Number 2, number 1, it needs to matter. Number 2, you need to be good at it. Number 3, you need to want to do it. All three. When you find that right thing, that's what you want to be productive at. When someone is trying to produce something that you don't want to produce, again, this is an inaccurate formula. It's not going to work for long. So that's point number 1, is you're doing something that you simply are not interested in doing. Number 2, we're talking why your productivity sucks. Second reason your productivity sucks is that you are using some other incorrect and inaccurate formulas. What is an accurate formula? Let's be clear here that there's a difference between being right and being accurate. Being right means serving your ego and proving your point, proving your opinion or your idea to be correct. That's what it means to be right. Being accurate means achieving the intended outcome. That's what accuracy means. Achieving the intended outcome. Doesn't matter whose opinion led us there. Doesn't matter who's right or wrong. Doesn't matter whose ego is served. Accuracy is about a clear black and white outcome That everybody knows what the outcome is, and we're getting to the outcome. That's what accurate is about. Many people spend their lives trying to be right rather than trying to be accurate. And when you're trying to be right, sometimes you can be right and accurate, but sometimes you have to pick between the two. Which one matters more to you, your ego or the outcome? And if you have to pick between the two, you do have to make a choice. And your actions are telling you what choice you're making on a consistent basis. Are you choosing the ego or are you choosing the outcome? So sometimes you're unproductive because you're doing stuff that doesn't work, but you keep trying to do it. How many of you right now have been working on something over and over again for an extended period of time, let's say more than 90 days, and it may be an inaccurate formula because you're working on something that you're not sure it does actually work, yet you keep trying? That's an inaccurate formula. No matter how hard you work at it, you're not going to get the outcome that you want. See, wanting to be productive is one thing. You should want to be productive, but how you go about achieving productivity is another thing. So let's say you want to work out more, right? You want to hit the gym. You want to be more active going to the gym. What's the process you're going to follow for going to the gym? Is it something that's duplicatable? Can you follow it every day? Is this process too cumbersome? Does it have too many moving parts? Is it not enjoyable enough for you to stick to it? See, it's not a matter of whether you can do something or if you can't do it. It's a matter of, is it something that's duplicatable? Is it something that works? Is it something that's going to produce the outcome that you want on a consistent basis if you stuck to the process? If you're not sure, first thing you need to do is figure out, are you riding on the right train? All right, sometimes you're working really hard, but you're working hard on the wrong things. This is why getting around people who know what you don't know, who have been where you haven't been yet, matters, because they can tell you, hey, this is the right path. You need to be on this path. Now, it might take you 6 months of effort to get some traction in that space, but you don't want to put 6 months of effort into something that you're not sure that at the end of the 6 months, you're actually going to get the outcome. This is why getting around other people who know what you don't know matters, because they can point you in the right direction and say, okay, this is what you need to be working on. It'll take you 6 months, but if you work on this for 6 months, you'll get the outcome. Now, if you're just doing that on your own, flying blind, and you don't even know if your process is even going to work, now you might work hard for 6 months on something and not even know if it's going to get you where you want to be. So now there's another year wasted. Now that's more effort you put in and you didn't get the outcome that you wanted simply because you didn't have the right information or the right guidance or the right insight from the people who knew things that you didn't know, who have seen what you're trying to see. This is why investing in yourself matters so much. This is why the 5 forms of investment are time, money, attention, energy, and focus. Understand that when you're investing time, money, attention, energy, and focus, they shouldn't just be into you. You need to be investing into, or let's just say with you. That's a better way of saying it. You want to invest these things with other people who know stuff so that you can get smarter, more intelligent, and more insightful about the effort. See that effort part, time, money, attention, energy, and focus. That energy is the effort part. Just putting in more and more energy into something that you don't even know it's the right thing is an inaccurate formula. This is why hard work is not the key to success. Many of you have been taught your entire lives that hard work is your key. If you just keep working hard, you'll be successful. That's not true. If you work hard at something that doesn't work, you're not going to be successful. You're going to be a failure. And you're going to be a tired failure because you spent your whole life working really hard on something that didn't work. That is not a formula for success. Hard work is an element of success, but it's not the key to success. You need to know where you're going when you're putting in hard work. All right, don't just do it just to say that you did it. So make the game easier for yourself by getting strategic about the formulas that you're operating under. And if you don't have a working formula, and the only way you know you have a working formula is if you actually know, not you think, you know you have a working formula. If you don't know you have a working formula, go get one from someone who actually has one. Is that a simple enough formula, right? Point number 3, we are talking why your productivity sucks. Third reason your productivity sucks is that you allow interruptions. Allowing interruptions is the easiest way to kill productivity. Here's the thing about attention and focus, is that they get stronger when they are unbroken. So if you pay attention to something for 5 minutes, then you stop, then give another 5 minutes and stop, then another 5 minutes and stop. It's 15 minutes total, but it was broken up into 3 5-minute segments. Whereas if you spent 15 minutes straight focusing on that same thing, your focus and attention would be stronger in the 15 unbroken minutes than the 15 minutes that got broke up into 3 parts. Focus and attention are force multipliers, meaning the longer you stay on them, the stronger the force of them becomes. And the force of anything that you focus and give attention to becomes stronger in itself. So in 2 ways, focus and attention get stronger the longer you can stick to them. So what's the biggest interruption that you allow? We all know the answer to that. Biggest interruption that we all allow is right here. This is the biggest interruption that everybody allows, this device right here. And it's not just the device itself. It's you picking the device up and scrolling through it and looking for something to distract you. That's really what it is. Because the phone doesn't do anything. You just sit this here on the table and do nothing. The phone won't do anything. It'll be sitting right there. If nobody touches it, it'll stay right there and won't move. It might vibrate or ring, but it doesn't actually physically do anything. It's your attention to it that is allowing distraction, is allowing interruption, is the notifications that you have coming up on your screen are asking you, hey, take this interruption here, this notification you got on Twitter, somebody replied you, or on LinkedIn, somebody viewed your profile, or TikTok, somebody liked your video. All of those are interruptions. I want you to remember what social media is designed to do. It is designed to suck your time away and monetize it by selling that time and attention to advertisers. You don't play a role in that transaction. Facebook and Instagram make the money. The advertisers pay the money. You get nothing. Right? That's how it's designed. That's social media's business model, by the way. For those of you who didn't know, that's the business model of social media. They take your time by how much time you spend on the app. They sell that time to the advertisers who spend money on ads. Because y'all see ads when you use these apps, right? And some of you may be advertisers yourself. And then they monetize that whole thing. They make money. The advertisers gets the views and the people to click on their websites. You get nothing. Or you get notifications. You get likes and comments and subscribers and followers, which are, in the business world, they are worthless. Those vanity metrics are worthless. So I'm looking on Facebook right now. It tells me how many reactions, viewers, comments, shares, all that stuff. All this stuff is worthless in a business sense. All right, what business are you in? Are you in the business of likes and followers and comments, or are you in the business of making money? All right, Instagram's in the business of making money. They're making money off you. Because as much as every minute you spend on this app, they are making money off of it. Facebook, YouTube, they all make money off eyeballs and attention of people. And I'm not saying that you should not use social media. I'm using it right now. But you should be using it as a producer, not as a consumer. Meaning you shouldn't be scrolling through feeds. You shouldn't be looking at the Explore tab. All of those are interruptions. They're just sucking time away from you for no reason. You don't get anything from it. You got to start using these things like an entrepreneur, like a producer, not a consumer. Let the masses consume. All right, let their time get monetized. Your time should not be getting monetized by an app. You should be monetizing your time by doing your career, running your business. So if you're inconsistent in your productivity, one problem, again, is the interruption. Every time you break your focus, you got to start back up at zero and ramp it up again. So what are you allowing to interrupt you? Are you allowing people to interrupt you? Are you working at Starbucks and you get interrupted because people are walking by, you're looking at the people, you're talking to people, you're going to get some coffee, you're going to get a pastry from the counter? Are you being interrupted by humans? Are you being interrupted by social media? Are you being interrupted by the notifications on your phone and you have to pick it up and go see what the notification is about? Are you being interrupted by your own mind? You just can't stay focused on anything long enough. I got episodes of my masterclass where I help you out with this, by the way. Point number 4, last one. We are talking about why your productivity sucks. Number 4, you have an unhelpful belief system. Your belief system is janky and is causing you to be unproductive. Now, this can take several forms. One of them is a set of limiting beliefs about the things that you're aiming to be productive at versus your true desire about that productivity. In other words, are you looking at something and saying, all right, I want to make this much money, but you don't actually believe you can make that much money. So you're pretending to be wanting to be productive on this thing, but you don't really believe you can be productive. So you're basically fighting against yourself. You're working against yourself. You're your own biggest area of friction. So you're not getting the outcomes that you want. Are you thinking about why achieving a certain outcome might not be good for you while you're working on it? That's unproductive. That's not going to help. What about thoughts in your head about somebody telling you that you're working too much or you got to have a life outside of work? While you're working, you're thinking about that. All right, that's not going to help you be productive, guaranteed. What about self-sabotage? Thoughts that you don't want to achieve too much. You don't want to do too well compared to other people. So you're kind of self-sabotaging yourself from getting to the outcomes that you want to get to. Philip, listen to every episode of my show. I talk about focus all the time. Or you can go to workonyourgamepodcast.com and look through the archives. or you can get the 30 Days of Discipline course at workonyourgameuniversity.com. So I gave you 3 options there. So these unhelpful limiting beliefs, these could be the very thing that are keeping you from being productive, even though you have all the tools, you got all the potential, you got the tools to do the work, but you're not actually doing the work because you got some things in your mind that are getting in your way. We got to clear the garbage out of your mind in order for you to get to where you want to get to. My Bulletproof Mindset course in Work on Your Game University helps you out with that a lot. You can join the university, get lifetime access to all the material in there by going to workonyourgameuniversity.com. So let me recap these points. If anyone has a question, put it in the comment section. I'll address them in a second. 4 points. Why your productivity sucks. Number 1, you're forcing yourself to do things you are not interested in and don't want to do, and that you simply are not good at, or maybe you're just doing things that don't matter for productivity, for actual outcomes. So you need these 3 things to be productive. Number 1, it has to be productive at something that matters. Number 2, you need to be good at it. And number 3, you need to want to do it. You need all 3. When you find something that hits all 3 of these, you need to put your foot on the gas and focus on that for your business. I might do an episode on that sometime in the future. Number 2, you have incorrect formulas. You're doing things that simply don't work, but you keep trying to do them. All right, that's an inaccurate formula. You got to know that what you're working on actually works. And if you are not sure that it works, then you need to get with someone who is sure what works. Make sure you follow their plan. You can borrow their plan, and then you apply yourself to that plan. Get the plan from someone who has already achieved the outcome. Don't try to figure it out on your own. Don't be Christopher Columbus out here sailing, thinking that you found one place, but you found a different place. You don't want to do that. Number 3, you're allowing for interruptions, mostly through your smartphone. You're picking it up to look at social media, browsing through feeds. You're scrolling through feeds. You should not be scrolling through a feed on social media. What are you doing? Unless you work for the social media company, why are you scrolling through a feed? What are you looking for? You're looking for a distraction. All right, this is why you're unproductive. You're looking at the Explore tab. Why? What are you looking for? All right, again, this is why you're unproductive. This is why you're not getting anything done, because social media is taking your time, monetizing it. They're making money. The advertisers are making money. You ain't getting nothing. All right, you're just getting used in the process. All right, this is why there's a gap. All right, people talk about gaps in wealth and gaps in income and gaps in outcomes. This is because of this. This is how people are spending their time on a day-to-day basis. I guarantee you, the person who's making 10 times as much as you is not getting their time wasted by social media the way that you are. All right, and your notifications. Turn off notifications on your phone. You shouldn't get notifications for anything that's not related to your business. Number 4, unhelpful belief systems. You got some thoughts in your mind that are keeping you from being productive because they've been planted in your head by unsuccessful people who have not achieved a lot in life. And because you listen to them and you trust them, you have allowed their bullshit thinking to get into your head, and now it's affecting your productivity and slowing you down from being successful. This is why the law of association is what it is. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. Are you spending time around people who have the kind of outcomes that you want? If the answer is no, and you know this answer immediately, you don't have to think about it. If the answer is no, this is one of the main reasons why you got a bunch of garbage in your head. That garbage is slowing you down from everything I just talked about. None of it is going to help you until you get the garbage out of your head. And if you hang around people who don't have the kind of outcomes that you want in life, I guarantee you got a bunch of garbage in your head that it ain't going away until you stop hanging with those people and you start hanging with the right kind of people. You got to do both. You got to get away from the wrong people and get around the right people. So if you want to make money, but you hang around people who ain't got no money, all right, nothing anybody tells you about money is going to change your situation because you keep hanging around the people who are bringing you right back to where you were. So you go out in the world, get good stuff from good people, then you go right back to your neighborhood or back home and you get the garbage from the garbage people. The garbage will beat the good stuff. Why? Because it has more experience. 2, because you already had the garbage in your head for a long time before you got to the good stuff. So all of this stuff can be slowing you down. And my Bulletproof Mindset 30 Days of Discipline course, both inside of workonyourgameuniversity.com, both of those will help you out fixing that situation. So with all that said, is that everything? Yeah. Anybody got a question or comment, put it in the comment section. I'll address it if there is one. If not, my next event, Work on Your Game Live, is happening February 3rd and 4th. That is a Friday and a Saturday here in Miami, Florida. We're going to be going over mindset, strategy, systems, execution. There's going to be hot seats. In other words, if you want to get some personalized attention in front of the audience, it's not going to be a million people there. We keep our events. This event's going to be pretty intimate. So we're talking anywhere up to maybe 30 people, 20, 30 people. It'll be intimate enough that you can meet the other people in the room. You'll know what everybody else does. You'll be able to talk to people, interact over 2 days. We'll be doing hot seats. So I'll be bringing people up to the front of the room, and we're going to be putting you on the hot seat. We're going to find out where you're at, what you're working on, where you want to get to, what you think your biggest challenges are. We're going to find out what the challenges actually are. Because often people think their challenge is one thing when it's actually something else. All that's going to be happening. We have VIP dinners on Friday and Saturday night at some of my favorite establishments in South Florida. And again, this is at workonyourgame.live is where you get your ticket to that event. There is the link down there. It's in the comment section on Facebook if you're watching this on Facebook. And I'll wait 1 second for questions. If we don't have any questions, then that'll be it. I didn't see any. And oh yeah, my masterclass is called Work on Your Game. Comes out every single day, free of charge on your favorite podcasting apps, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud. Y'all know where to find podcasts. So look that up. It's come out every single day since 2016. Today's episode is number 2,425. The habits that are keeping you average. That's the episode that came out today. So if you didn't listen to that episode, go listen to it. Again, that's episode 2,425 on your favorite apps. Again, workonyourgamepodcast.com. You get all the links to all the different apps. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good Tuesday. Go be productive at something. Stop scrolling through your feeds on social media. Go do something that actually will get you where you want to get to, which is not scrolling through social media. Work on your game. Dre all day. Out of here.